Alright, this is my very first unboxing video. Unboxing my lightsaber from Bossabers. The box itself looks like it might have been through a few troubles while shipping, but it's very light. Packing peanuts. Well, they have the blades stored separately. That's actually the first I've seen from any other lightsaber company. And more packing peanuts. Now, this is a first for me. I've purchased a couple of sabers so far, and all of them have come put together and in their own boxes, all in one piece. This one seems to have the saber handle in its own piece on this one. A very nice box, which I wish that they actually hadn't taped up, because I think it actually will ruin the box if I try to remove the tape, but it's a very pretty box. Even says lightsaber. There it is. In the box we have the lightsaber of my order. Very pretty, seems to be very well made. All the other ones that I've purchased actually have mill marks in them. This one seems to be polished to a fine sheen, which is going to make me feel guilty because I plan on modifying this one. I don't plan on aging it or patinaing it, but I plan on putting things like little leather grips on there to make it, look like it's more of a used piece. We have a charging cable. We have the mounting screw and some extra bolts. I got one of the longer blades that were available. Now that's interesting. It actually comes with an end cap on the actual saber blade. Okay, now to figure out which is where the set screw goes. Well, that one looks like it's threaded, so I'm going to go ahead and try that one. This is interesting. I've never actually seen them have it all disassembled like this. That's a first for me. Probably makes it cheaper for them to ship, though. So I can't blame them. Someone who also runs a small company, shipping charges will kill you if you don't actually try to reduce it as much as possible. Okay, there it is. It's actually a shorter blade than what I expected it to be, but it's still a good length. It's a good weight. Feels good. And it feels like I might need to charge it before I can actually turn it on. Okay, in the bottom you actually have the sound port. They don't run a grid or anything like that. They seem to be running vents in the bottom, which will let the sound out, which is some ways good because it'll protect the speaker, but I think it might actually muffle the noise a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to charge it for a little bit, and I will record when I go to put it on. Okay, lightsaber's completely charged up, and let's go ahead and go over the features. First things first, it actually has a very nice, well-built feel to it. It's shockingly light compared to the other blades that I have, especially for one that actually has a 1-inch heavy grade blade in it. One of the things that it has, it has the ability, to change how the blade acts. And what you do is you hold down the button for 3 seconds.
No sound.
Actually, that's 2 seconds. That turns the sound on and off.
No sound.
Basically, if you look at the blade, there's a little light in the handle. There's a little light in here, and it blinks as long as you're holding it down. If it blinks once, it turns the sound on and off. If it blinks twice, it changes the blade from a pulsing blade into a non-pulsing blade, and it actually changes it. So it was pulsing slower before, then there was that. Blink, blink. And now we have a stable light. When that first started happening, I thought I screwed something up. I thought something on the blade was broken. That's a feature, and an awesome one. No other blade actually has that unless you actually program it on the computer. Then, if you want to change the sounds, you hold the button down while it's off. 1, 2, 3. Gives you a little preview of what the sound is. 1, 2, 3.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
So that one's obviously the sound of Ben Solo's blade. We have 1, 2, 3.
You have something I want.
Oddly enough, they actually have the sounds of the dark saber in here, even though this is clearly not a dark saber. 1, 2, 3. This one's my favorite sound. It's a very normal sound. So it has flash on flash. If you want to actually do like laser blocks, it has a button to hit. If you want to do a clash, you hold it. And then you press the button and then you have a saber clash. If you want to change the colors while the blade is on, you hold it, blinks once, blinks twice, and then you take your button off and then you hold your finger on it. Hopefully it shows up on camera. And you have basically where it goes to the blade change. This is something that the cheaper Chinese blades do, but it seems to me like any blade that doesn't have like a computer custom control system seems to do this. So this is actually fairly typical and a great way to do it because it still lets you go through the entire color gamut. It doesn't let you change the brightness, which is unfortunate, but it still works very well. And then once you set the color, you tap it once and it sets the color, because if you don't tap it that once and hold the button again, it'll continue changing the color. The sound on this blade is unfortunately not as good as some of the more premium products. It uses a weaker speaker, I think, and because of that you get a little bit of distortion. It's still nice, you still get plenty of noise, you know exactly what it's doing, but it is not as loud as some of the other ones and some of the ways that I wish it was. Now we get onto something which is actually very different about this blade that I've never seen as well, is it has what's called a deep sleep mode. It will actually put itself into that on its own, or you can actually put it into deep sleep if you hold the button on.
Solo. The resistance is dead. The war is over.
So this puts it into a mode that the blade cannot be woken by accidentally pressing the button or doing anything like that. If you want the blade to be off, it'll be off. If you don't put it that way on your own, it will do it on its own, period. To wake it out of deep sleep, you hold the button down. You get a nice little sound font, very loud, and then you can go ahead and turn it on and use it. Am I happy with the blade? Very much so. As far as the price that I got it for, it runs around $200 for this particular model. The $80 Chinese one that I have is similar quality into soundboards, but the actual make of the handle and the actual features of the blade are not as good. It only has color changing, and it only has 3 different sound fonts. This one has 7 different sound fonts. It has a mute. You can change its blade pulsing, and it has the full RGB spectrum. The actual handle quality has a very, very high quality feel to it. It's made out of solid aluminum. It has this very lovely polished sheen to it. And like so many blades of the similar kinds, my mistake there, you can twist it loose from the middle, or that gives you access to the batteries, or you can take off the bottom which you have the speaker inside there, but this is where you put the coupler so you can actually run a double blade setup. I'm personally not a fan of the double blade setup, so I don't plan on doing that. But all in all, it's a very, very high quality piece. The only part about it that I would say that I would change if I were making the blades myself is I wouldn't run this grill setup. I would run that either open or with an actual grill. Do I recommend this blade? Yes. It's made in America by a guy in Arizona. It's high quality. It's strong enough to duel with. I've actually been beating the crap out of this thing for the last couple of hours. It has quality enough sound for the price. It could be better. I wish it was better, but at the same time, you do get what you pay for. If you want a better sound system, you're usually starting at $300 and up. Its sensitivity for movement is actually surprisingly good. It's better than my Ultra Saber, which I spent over $400 on. I know I can adjust the sensitivity on the Ultra Saber, which may be the reason why, but still the sensitivity for a $200 Saber is fantastic. So yes, I recommend it. I think it's a good product. I like to support the little guys, and this guy's definitely one of the little guys. But he's making something unique, something different, and he's making something good. He has a lot of different saber designs out there. I think I got the last one that he had on his Etsy store that was in this model, but I'm betting that he can probably be provoked to make more. He's got a lot of different designs. One of the things that I do like about almost all of his designs is you get light going actually through the blade, through the actual hilt, which is just a level of detail that I really enjoy. So hopefully this will give you an idea of what you'd be getting if you actually get this. Oh, and another bit of good news. The very, very lovely lightsaber box, the tape came off cleanly. It didn't tear the box like I was afraid it would. So I think that this is a good product. I recommend it, and hope to see you all in the future with lightsabers. That's it. Bye.